2 more dead horses at Belmont Racetrack, the same day as the Belmont Stakes.
2 more horses have lost their lives in what's been a deadly year at Triple Crown racetracks. The most recent deaths happened at Belmont Park on Long Island, the site of Saturday's Belmont Stakes. 2 horses were euthanized after suffering injuries in races before and after the main event. And 12 horses died at Churchill Downs from late April to late May, including 2 on the day of the Kentucky Derby.
Pete, as we sit here today and as we discuss this issue, at Belmont Park, 18 horses have died this year, been put to death. Over 150 horses have been killed at thoroughbred racetracks in America as of today's date, the 13th of June. And those are the ones we know about thanks to Freedom of Information Act issues that we can find out who died. We don't know the ones that are buried. And I can tell you that having worked in the thoroughbred industry and covered it for many years, there's a lot of dead horses out there that get shipped overseas for food, and they get buried in the back when nobody is watching. These claimers that get shoveled back there just to go ahead and get rid of the bodies.
Yeah.
We could go off in a million different tangents here, Pete, but I cannot understand for the life of me, when I discuss this with gamblers, with people who are horse racing aficionados, they don't die in the United Kingdom. Why? They don't drug their horses. They don't treat them the same. They treat them with a reverence. How can people with any conscience use these animals as nothing more than cannon fodder to make a couple of bucks and to make $1 on a blood sport? Pete, I don't get it. Then they won't answer my questions.
I have to see numbers about the UK and Japan and every country. Tons of countries have horse racing. I think the numbers would be kind of frightening in the UK too. Probably
no, not as many die. The UK and I've done the research.
As far as we know, look, I get it. I understand completely what you're saying, but it's not going away. It's too popular. It's too much business worldwide. I agree. I'm not disagreeing with anything you say. You know,
I just want to know why. I mean, instead of insulting horse, look, I've lost friends in the last couple of years who won't talk to me now because they've seen that the hard line I've taken on thoroughbred horse racing in America, where they and one of them is a great friend. He's a media guy in South Florida. I've known him for decades, and he says, they're just horses. How can you do that? I don't.
I mean, people say,
it.
well, they're beasts of burden. Of course, we could talk about what used to be in dog track racing, which was just as bad, if not worse.
Worse, much worse.
You know, and I talk about horse racing. We cover the story, and in Santa Anita, I mean, I know what's going on. We talk about horse racing on our show 3 times a year, the Triple Crown. We have a horse expert that comes on, my friend Gus Alonso, who's just a great guy, and he's got a great job, but he does this on the side. He does it very well. If horse racing ceased to exist, he'd be fine. But, it's something he has a lot of passion for. And, of course, a lot of these guys who cover the races and are handicap experts and stuff and do it for a living, I mean, I think they care. I mean, it's obviously this is a major problem that's going on here. But there is, again, it's the almighty dollar, unfortunately. It's a big business.
It is the dollar, and it's state government.
Nobody's boycotting these races, and I'd be a hypocrite. I told you, I picked Arcangelo on the show on Friday. You know why? Because Jenna Antonucci became the first. We didn't know it then, but she was the first female trainer to win at Belmont. You know why I picked that horse? Because I went out with a girl with the same last name in high school. So I said, fuck it. I'm just going to do it. So I put $2 on Win Placer's show for Arcangelo, and it netted me back a whopping $31. But there's still a thrill about horse. And I agree with you, Ed. I'm not taking, and I will still be your friend, even though I just don't think it's ever going to go away.
But it needs to. That's my point.
If horse racing never happened again, it wouldn't affect me. I mean, there are other things I can do. But those 3 times a year, I'm watching. And
but that's my whole point here, though. These horses are too young to be raced. They don't get up in the morning and go, I want to go make $2 for Peter Ed at the window. They're drugged consistently in order to be able to keep them on the track. And when they break down, their bones shatter into pieces. I still remember Ruffian and that ridiculous money greedy grabbing match race they put her in, where both of her front legs were shattered to pieces in abject screaming pain of any creature could possibly be, and they killed her. They had to kill her right there on the track because it was nothing more than a desire to make a couple of bucks. And it's state governments that get involved because they're all making taxes. They're all making extra money here. They've all got lobbyists in the state capitals that keep this alive. Horse racing has got to end. It has got to cease. It's got to be put out of business. I will stand on that until the day I die.
Happen. You know what I? But look,
but I'm going to keep fighting for it.
It's not going to happen. But you're talking about cruelty to animals. I mean, you look at the poaching that goes on all over the world. Look at elephants, the tusks, rhinos, their horns that are taken.
Agreed.
Gorilla poaching. There is so much stuff that goes on. Thank God for some of these wonderful documentaries on TV. It makes you sick to your stomach sometimes, but it really makes you think.
But this is state-sanctioned killing.
What about whales, humpback whales?
I get all that, but hang on, hold on, wait a minute. Take the whales and the elephants out of this, because horse racing is state-sanctioned killing. Governmental sanctioned killing is what it is. What you're talking about is poaching, which is illegal in the first place, and that needs to be looked at a greater level. But this comes with the okay from, we both live in Florida, state of government. Just check the box. Hey, make sure we get our tax money here from every race that goes on at Gulfstream, Hialeah, and every other track in Florida. They don't give a shit. So let's drive them into the ground and kill the damn things.
It's all over the world, Ed. It's all over the world. This is a very popular sport.
I know, but I can only do it here, Pete. I can only do it here. I can't change India.
Again, what are you going to stand outside? Hi, I'm Ed. I hate horse racing. What are you going to do? It's not going away anytime soon. It just isn't.
Maybe it's not going to go away, but at least make some changes, make some legislative changes, make some changes in how the horses are treated. Stop racing horses at 2 and 3 years of age. Wait until they're 5, 6, 7, or 8 and their bodies are actually built up a little bit. Stop using Lasix every single time they walk out on the track. Stop injecting them with as much drugs as possible to keep them pain-free.
Well, I agree. The drug testing thing, I would be great if there was some sort of. It sucks that I hate to have government involved in anything. You would think the national horse racing people, whatever it's called, you would think they would impose their own sanctions and own penalties if a horse is being absolutely abused in this country. But
they don't care.
They don't care. They don't care. It's all about the almighty dollar. Like I said, I think it's disgusting. I think it's despicable. I agree with everything you're saying, but I'm also a realist, and it's too big of a business. It's not.
But that's what and from a realism standpoint, then Pete, that's what I want to ask people. And that's what I want, a quiet conversation and a simple question.
Yeah.
When you know that every dollar you spend at the horse track is an okay and is a green light to continue the sport, to continue drugging the animals, to continue using them, to continue killing them at a record rate, like I said, over 150 horses already dead this year. When you know that you're helping to support that, how do you do that? How do you sleep with yourself?
Well, I think you look at the the Kentucky Derby, the Preakness, and the Belmont. Those three aside, I mean, you have your really diehards and your professional gamblers who are taking part. But I'm not like, hey, they have the horse racing channel on cable. Sure. They have it on cable that shows races from all over.
I have a friend of mine who is one of the originators of it, who helped put that network together and asked me to come to work for them. Has asked me 5 times to come to work for the Thoroughbred, the racing channel, and I've said no every time. I said I can't do it. I won't do it.
Yeah. No, and I commend you for your scruples there. I mean, that's
all I got.
I mean, I don't care enough about it. I mean, I care enough that horses are dying. Don't get me wrong. I think that's despicable. But I don't care enough about horse racing to watch the horse racing channel unless I get a preview of the Triple Crown. Because I watch it 3 times a year and that's it.
Well, I had a friend of mine say to me, "You're just anti-gambling." Oh, that's bullshit. Come on, I go to the casino, I lay it down. I'm an excellent blackjack player. I'm very good at craps. I love playing poker, but I do it and I'm not killing anything. I walk into the casino. Here's my money. Take it, please, while I have a good time. There's no chance whatsoever that somebody or something is going to die when I place a bet here on taking a hit on 12 when the dealer's showing an ace.
Yeah.
So. But in horse racing, that's the difference. It is a living, breathing thing that has one life, and you are basically using it for no other purpose than to make money. I just want gamblers to explain that to me, how they get by and how they do it. And no one has taken me up on my offer, Pete. I'm I'm willing
They-
to have that. I'm willing to have
they're
that
not-
conversation. Nobody
they're
wants
not
to
gonna-
address it.
They're not going to do it. I mean, I know deep down what's going on. They're not going to do it except because it's a big business and it's not going away. It's just not going away. I think it should be regulated more. It's ridiculous the amount of horses that
Okay.
are suffering and have died. But you're talking all over the world. This is an extremely popular sport. It's not going away anytime soon.
Which is what we come down to again, Pete. You're right. I can't change the UK. I can't change what happens in the Middle East. I can't change what happens in Japan. But I can at least try and change here in my little corner of the world. I can try and do something that might affect change somewhere, sometime. So I got to
Well,
start here.
The only thing is, like you said, you contact your congressman, and hopefully, I don't know where that's going to be on their list of issues. There's a lot of
Stop
stuff
betting on
going
horses. Here,
But,
stop.
you
Don't
know-
bet on dogs. Don't bet on horses. Don't do cockfights. Don't do dog fighting. Stop using animals to make a buck.
Make
That's-
it.
I'll start there.
We'll hear from Congressman as well. We didn't get to it. It's tabled for next session, and then it's tabled again.
Bullshit,
and
bullshit,
then
bullshit,
so
bullshit,
on and
bullshit.
so on.
Bullshit, 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 bullshit.